Welcome to episode 2. Let me fix the steering wheel. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of the series where we're heading back into the basics, and I'm basically walking you through the process of being a beginner in making music all the way to knowing pretty much everything that you need to know, the essential tools to improve your skill as a music producer. Again, the tone of this series is going to be different from a lot of videos on my channel. I typically edit videos pretty heavily. These ones are a lot more vlog based, a lot more conversational, where I'm going to be taking you through some of my day, some of what life is like, and also teaching you about my mental process in making music and giving you the tools and skills that you need to improve in this area. Later today, we're going to be talking about loops, samples, their role in music production, and how you can use them creatively to develop a unique sound for yourself. But first, we gotta hit the gym. This is a Sam Sulek segment, but instead of talking about getting those gains for your muscles, I'm going to talk to you about getting those gains in music production. There are similarities because just like getting the gains in lifting weights, you gotta put in the reps. You guys probably know this if you watch other videos on music production, music producers. You hear that golden number that you want to make a beat every single day. You want to make a song, produce something from the beginning to the end every single day. Because we've all heard that story about the experiment of a group of students who were charged to make 100 pots in 100 days, and the other group who was charged to make one perfect pot in 100 days. The students that actually made the perfect pot were the students that crafted pots for 100 days. So the goal is quality, always. But quantity leads to quality every single time. So if you want to improve at anything in life, but specifically us producers, we want to improve at our musical skills. To improve, we need to up the quantity that we're outputting so that we can make the gains. Those are the reps that we do each one. It's like a push-up. And each one gives us the muscle memory, the grit to next time we do it, we've got a little bit more quality. Then we take a little break, come back into it, and before we know it, we've put on some weight. So I encourage you to do that today after you finish watching this video. So you're done chilling for a little bit, done eating your snack, which grab a snack if you haven't. You should. These are long videos. You're gonna need one to make it through. But once you're done, I encourage you, I implore you actually, please go. Make some music. Just one thing, from start to finish, complete it. Say, this is a complete thought and idea. See, I made the mistake for years where I would just make an idea here, idea there, idea, I don't like this idea, so I'm going to make a new one. It's pretty immature. You want to be able to form complete sentences, right? So one of the marks of maturity of a toddler getting older is that they're able to form a complete thought and say it instead of just a word or just a phrase. They actually can formulate their ideas. So do the same thing with your music production. Formulate an entire musical thought in the form of a song, complete it. Here's another step just to keep track of your progress. Make some kind of social media account. Could be SoundCloud, could be YouTube, could be Instagram, whatever, and post it. You don't have to share it with anybody. You don't have to tell your grandpa and grandma about this, but just post it for yourself. That way when you look back, you can go to that page and you can be like, I completed this set of things. You'll have a growing list of the work that you've done. So that's my encouragement to you today in the car segment, today's vlog. Just wrapped up the gym. This is an evening gym session. It's good. Did some back and arms. My first time back in the gym in like 2 months. Let's get back to the house, get this blinding light away, and we're gonna learn about some samples and loops today. Spooky funky vibes on this stop for sure. About to get my screen recording, and then we're gonna jump into loops, samples, everything having to do with that. And again, these are not shortcuts to your music making journey, but they are enhancements, and it's a great way to start developing and finding your own sound. Because as you start looking for loops, from there you're gonna get into genres and like what type of loop you're looking for and what kind of sound you're looking for. That's honestly a really great way to start developing what makes you unique and special as a producer is what kind of sound you make. You probably already have an idea of this just because of your influences, your taste in music. You probably already have an idea of kind of this is the sound I would like to hear put together. That's how I even got into making music, because I thought to myself, I love these two songs. What if we could make a song that sounded like both of them? That could be amazing. That's how good things are made. So if you're thinking the same way, keep going, because that's totally possible, and you should bring that sound into the world. We're all going to benefit from that sound that you create and produce, so please keep going. If you have Logic open, we're making a new project today, and we're going to start with our audio channel. So let's create one, and this audio channel is what we are going to be putting our loops on today. What even is a loop? A loop is basically a pre-recorded piece of audio somebody's made specifically to be used in a larger body of work. All right, let's jump into it. So, very basics. We're gonna come into Logic's loop library over here, top right. It's got a little loop sign right here, and Logic has a great way that you can actually categorize exactly what kind of instrument you're looking for. So, say we want to start off with some kind of keys thing, maybe electric piano. It's cool, we have electric piano, so now they have these loops. You can just listen to them. And you find something that you like. So, found this loop right here. What we can do is drag it right into our project. Boom. And if you notice up here, Logic automatically changed your tempo. Tempo is how fast or slow you're going. So they changed it from 120 to 80. And they changed our key to C sharp minor, which is the key the loop is in. So now if we click the space bar, you can play this. You'll notice it's right in time with the recording. And by coming up to the top left of the track, we can actually drag this loop out a couple bars so that it repeats. And we can make a whole song like this in 5 minutes. So I could go over here, maybe we want some drums to come in here. Same process. But now, I want a specific kind of beat. There's all sorts of beats. That sound honestly pretty bad with this loop. So I'm going to look for a specific genre. The genre I want is chill wave. And it's important to look for a tempo that's similar to your project tempo, because otherwise it's going to sound really warped. And what I mean by warped is it's going to sound really stretched out, like you can hear that. It's kind of got a weird tone to it. That's because it's being stretched out a little bit. But if I play one of these, it's 85 instead of 120. It's a lot less warped. So I'm gonna look around. We're gonna find a drum loop to this. Final little loop. Cool little shortcut is Logic has these loop families, we'll call it, where basically we have this Ambition electric piano, right? And I just typed in Ambition, just looked it up, and they kind of have this family of Ambition loops that all work together. You can make a whole track just from these, but I'm just going to use the Ambition strings down here. Going to drag this in, and you'll hear that it fits right in with the chord progression. Oh, this is cool. But you guys can hear that it sounds kind of like stock music that you'd pull into like a video, like copyright free music. It sounds homemade, right? It doesn't sound professional. And what it's missing is personality, right? We just drag these things in here, and you can kind of hear the process behind how we made it, and it comes across sounding really impersonal, really kind of like it's just fulfilling a task. Not very good. How do we fix this? Customization. Let's get into it right now. So first of all, we're going to change the key of these loops so it's not the original key. We're going to highlight them both. Then if we come into our information tab, we have this transpose button. We'll drag it down a couple, maybe like 3. Ooh. It already sounds better. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start chopping up this string section right here, and you'll get to see exactly how I chop things up. There's different ways of doing it. You guys are going to learn the way that I do it. Before I even do it, I'm picturing something in my head, so I think like right there on the first beat, it could be cool to have a little string thing. So bring my cursor over here, then by hitting Command T, that cuts the beginning section. Then I hold Option, I drag it out here. We have one there, and then one more time. See what that sounds like. Kind of cool. It's a little harsh, so if we come up here to get rid of that click, we're gonna click on this thing. We're gonna hit Fade tool. Zoom in. I'm just gonna barely fade. Yeah, just one fade in, just like that. Kind of some wee vibes. I don't know, I like it though. It's kind of cool. So maybe we have it go twice. Do something crazy. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You see, I'm picturing stuff in my head. You can't hear it yet, but you're gonna hear it when I finish the track. So, oh, it's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be good. If you can get it sounding good in your head, it's gonna sound good on the track too. So, same process. Again, some of the more technical aspects, like the chopping up, but it's worth it. Take the time, figure it out. Because that's how you're going to start getting what's in your head down onto the program. Another thing I like to do with some chops is we can pitch it around depending on what it is. Again, you got to experiment and hear what sounds best. But when you have a chord, typically it's not going to work to pitch the chord only like 5, transpose it 5 pitches up or down. You're gonna have to go 12 up or down because that's gonna be an octave jump, which is gonna fit in the key of the song that you have right now. Again, some music theory, which we'll get into. I promise we're getting there slowly. But for now, all you guys need to know is we are at -3, so I went down 12 minus 3 minus -3. think that's the right problem. It's negative 15. Everything together. I kind of have an idea for a melody, so I'm gonna record it, see how it sounds. Go through vocals more in depth in future videos and recording stuff, effects, all that good stuff. But for now, all you need to know is I auto-tuned the crap out of this because you need to. I also added a compressor to this. We'll get more into what this does later. Basically, it controls the dynamics, makes it sound louder, and then I added a reverb to this, which makes it sound bigger. Again, the thing with loops, they can take you pretty far, and they can start off a track pretty good. It is pretty tough to make an entire song out of just loops. Like right now, I'm running into the dilemma that I need a bass line. But if you notice, if you remember, when I looked up Ambition, in the Ambition family of loops in here, there's no Ambition bass that I need to make this a song. So for these things, like a bass line that needs to follow the chord progression of this song, and a kick drum that I have an idea to, that there's probably not going to be a specific loop for, or even if there is, it's going to take me too long to try to find it. We're just going to make those. And I'm going to show you another cool way to make things using samples, third-party samples outside of Logic. When you create a MIDI track like this, Logic automatically opens up its sample and synth library to you, where you can choose a bunch of pre-made synths and things that Logic's already set up for you, which is totally cool. Keep doing that if that's your thing. But there's also third-party sounds that you can download off of websites for free, honestly. There's like free loop websites. If you just look up free loops, free samples, free drums, free kick drums, that kind of thing, you're going to find more specific sounds, and a lot of times more mainstream sounds that Logic doesn't come built in with. The Logic sounds are great. They should get you really far. Honestly, they'll do everything you need. But if you're like me and you're looking for something quick, there's a lot of other great spots to find sounds. I'm going to go into my folder. We're going to find a kick drum that I like. Alright, I've got a kick drum sample right here in this folder. And if I just drag it over here, it's now part of our project. Now there's a lot of different ways, again, that you can do this. This is just the way I do it. I like it sitting on the audio track like this. And by holding Option, doing our Option trick again, I'm able to drag it into different rhythms that I think it would sound good to hit at. And so by just using those simple tricks, Option drag, selecting a couple notes, dragging it over, it can build out an entire rhythm. Go back into this folder. I think like a little symbol action could be cool, so let's look around for something. Maybe in perks. You guys know I'm trying to go for that Clams Casino beat. And then again, option drag, just dragging stuff to where I like it. Takes practice, guys. Takes practice. And then selecting it, and just loop it over again. Loop it over again. That's how I build it out. Maybe I don't like the sound of a drum like that, so maybe we pitch it down an octave. I don't know. Maybe we just go six down. And we still need that bass line, so let's add in a bass line. You need to at least have a good ear to be able to figure out the chords that are happening. Honestly, this part might take you the longest when you're starting out, but don't let it discourage you, because the more that you practice it again, it's like riding a bike. When you develop that muscle memory, it's going to be easy peasy. But the first uphill battle, like riding that bike, it's kind of a grind. Then you get to a point where you're like, I got, and then smooth sailing. So don't let the beginning phases of all this technical stuff discourage you. Some stuff might take some more time to get it sounding the way you like it, but when you fight the battle and you do get it sounding the way that you like it, every single time, not just sometimes, every single time, get the sound that you want. When you do that, you're going to be able to have accumulated knowledge that's going to propel you forward, and it's going to give you momentum so that there'll come a time when, boom, smooth sailing. But for now, it's a grind. Found out the notes that the song is in. The 3 notes I'm going to play. This one, E flat, or D sharp, C sharp, and then A sharp. So, more music theory. We'll get into it, guys. I promise. It's coming. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. Again, this is just going to be a little summertime series, taking some longer format videos to explain concepts, the practical ways that we make music, and hopefully get you inspired and the knowledge that you need to just start making stuff yourself. Hope this was helpful with samples. How you can see we took these 3 samples that kind of sounded a little stale by themselves, did some things like chopping them up, adding some other instruments, adding other samples that weren't even part of Logic into this, and chopping those up to get a sound that doesn't sound boring. So I hope it was helpful, and if it was, you know what to do today. Press all the YouTube buttons down there. See you next week. Peace.